Alright, we are here playing some Battlefield 4. This is a game that got me, well, this is the game that got me into PC gaming. For a long time, I didn't even know what anything besides a Nintendo console was. But then in 2013, when this game came out, saw a YouTube video on it. It looked extremely realistic for the time, and I was like, I want to play that. I didn't have any consoles or anything at the time that could run Battlefield 4, so I had begged my mom to get me a PC so I could play at ultra settings. Now, this was before I realized that you needed a proper graphics card and you needed, the actual specs to run a game at ultra settings. And bless her heart, she had bought me a gaming computer. It was a old stock iBuyPower PC. It had a AMD FX 4300. It had 8 gigs of RAM, which was plenty for the time. Remember, this is 2013, over 10 years ago. It had a 500 gig hard drive, not a solid state drive, and only 500 gigs, which even back then filled up pretty quick and wasn't very fast. And then the card that it came with was a GT 610. Now, most of y'all have probably heard of the GT 710. That's kind of the shit card that... Oh, fuck. That's that's the shit card that everyone dogs on, is the GT 710. Now, imagine that terrible system, or that terrible card, but worse. It had the 610, which was the older version of that card. Really, it shouldn't have been able to run anything, but it ran Battlefield 4, this game, low settings, 480p, at 30 FPS, which was very impressive to me, to say the least. It was very impressive. It looked like shit, ran like shit, but I mean, it was a GT 610. I played a lot of Minecraft using that card and Gary's mod. And then for my birthday the following year, my mom bought me a GTX 750 Ti, specifically the EVGA OC edition. And man, that card was a trooper. I'll throw up a photo of my old system. Once I had gotten that card, I ran a really crappy dual monitor setup. My main display was a 4x3 CRT. The reason for that being is clarity was fine, and despite the field of view not being great for FPS games, because of the lower resolution but it still being a CRT, it was pretty crisp. It actually helped me be able to run games at higher settings than if I had used my productivity monitor, as I called it, which was a 720p flat screen panel. But yeah, I'll throw up that picture here. And man, I loved that computer. Eventually it started having some pretty severe crashes. I couldn't exactly figure out what was causing those crashes. I'm doing terrible this round. But I couldn't figure out what was causing those crashes. I replaced the power supply. I replaced everything. It wasn't overheating. I honestly think it was just probably the system dying at that point. That system's unfortunately long gone, but I'll eventually rebuild a replica system if I can find all the parts. The main problem being the case was a very weird case, as it was kind of exclusive in terms of the colorway, and the one that it was an exclusive iBuyPower version. But I could probably eventually source the original case that wasn't the iBuyPower version, but we'll see. I have no real need for a computer that old, but it would be fun to just have. But yeah, that's kind of where I got started, and now I'm running a system that is overkill for Battlefield 4. I'm running a Ryzen 9 7900 and a RTX 5080. Ah, shit. Which is overkill for a game like this, but with Battlefield 6 set to release either later this year or beginning of next year, honestly, I like to be future-proofed, especially since these games always seem to kick computers' asses the first year they release. Ooh. And this game is still so fun, even though I'm absolute dog shit on it. And it honestly looks pretty good still today. This is one of the DLC maps. I haven't actually ever played on this map before. I stopped playing after Battlefield 1 came out, and even before then, I never really got to play the DLC maps. My computer, like I said, had a bunch of issues. So, yeah, I just figured we'd hop on. It is a Thursday afternoon, 12:22, and, you know, there's still people playing, and that's pretty cool to see. And this game is just hugely important to me. And I think eventually I'll test out on the PlayStation, because I own it. I own the PS4 copy, but I have a PS5. I think I'm gonna probably test out, see how that version compares eventually, because I never really played that version. I just bought it because Battlefield 4 is, I'm gonna probably say, like, my favorite game of all time. It's definitely one of the best FPS games of all time, which is crazy because if you were around when it released, it was a terrible launch. The netcode was fucked. There was a shit ton of glitches. Graphics-wise, it was a pretty big step up from... Oh, shit. It was a pretty big step up from Battlefield 3, but at the time, like, it just kind of looked like Battlefield 3.5. Which isn't a bad thing. Battlefield 3 is a great game. But, yeah, I remember back in the day, there was a lot of anger towards DICE for this game. Which is funny because now we're seeing kind of the same thing happen with 2042, except for it's not really recovering quite as well as 4 did. And it's a shame because 2042 is actually really fun. It's not quite as Battlefield as I want. It's like a weird mixture of Call of Duty and Battlefield, especially with the operators and shit like that. But it's still a really fun game, and damn, man. I don't know. 2042 is a good game. It's not a great Battlefield game, not even in the top 3. But in general, it's a pretty fine game, especially now that they fixed some of the performance issues and it runs smoothly. It's a good game, and I mean, there's a lot of people playing it. I see a bunch of YouTube videos saying, "Oh, 2042 is dead," or "Oh, it sucks ass," but in reality, it's a fine game. And it's still a little bit more realistic looking than Call of Duty with its Beavis and Butthead promotion going on right now, which is fine. It's a fun game too, but man, I remember the war between Call of Duty and Battlefield fans when 4 and Ghosts was coming out. Like, that was fucking everywhere. Oh shit. Where is this guy? Did he die? Man, maybe I'm just blind, but I don't know. Man, some of that stuff you just had to be here for it, though. Like, it was a different time to play games, and I mean, PC games in general. I mean, games in general really have just kind of stagnated at this point. Nothing really feels fresh. But Battlefield 4, man, it was a good... I mean, it still is a good shooter. It's modern military. Oh. What the hell is that? Oh, okay. Yep, I'm dead. This is one game that I've never actually quite been able to get the hang of, though. I've never been good at 3 or 4. Battlefield 1, I can usually get quite a few kills in. 5, I'm alright in. 2042, I'm pretty decent in. But I don't know what is with the gunplay, but 3 and 4, I've always struggled. But it's never, like, ruined the fun for me. Like, I'm happy just driving around, shooting random things, and then dying. Like, it's fine. I see everyone else revisit these old games, and, you know, they're masters. They've played, like, since launch like me, but they've always had high-end cards, so they were always running high refresh rates, and they were always a little bit more skilled. But I mean, honestly, even just playing like this, it's nice. It reminds you of a simpler time. And this map is actually kind of gorgeous. Definitely looks good. The detail's not quite what you would expect from modern games, but it still looks pretty nice. The tank detail's great. Character model detail's pretty good. And I mean, this was not a launch title, but it was very early into like the PS4, Xbox One generation, so we still got a 360 and PS3 release of this, and those were terrible. If you ever watched Mark Music's Battlefield series, where they just mess around, I mean, he had some pretty nasty crashes on 360. Like, the game was not well optimized at all. And I'm pretty sure those servers are actually shut down now. Yeah. But yeah, this game's fun. I think we're gonna probably hop into another match, though. You know, just see what's going on, see if I can get any kills finally. Alright, we're going to be playing a little bit of Operation Locker now. Found a pretty full server, which is insane to me that so many people are still playing at like non-peak hours in the middle of the week. But yeah. One thing that I totally forgot until we loaded into this map, because this is one that was huge back in the day and still is clearly. My Origin account, before they were renamed to like the EA app or whatever, my Origin account had actually gotten hacked at one point. I was able to salvage it, get the passwords reset and everything, and get all my games back. But during that hack, they decided to rename my account, and they changed like the, you know how you have the custom flags on the weapons. They changed those. Like, I just remember after I logged in, I was so confused, and for a very long time I didn't know how to change any of that. But yeah, just a little something to remind me that Origin security was never great. Like, it was pretty easy to bypass accounts back in the day, which is how I got access back on mine. But yeah, where is everyone? Blazer's getting kills over there, so we're just gonna go down to where he's at. There's everyone. And I mean, yeah, man, this game still, like, at certain parts look dated, but as soon as you get, like, The effects with the bloom and the snow blowing in. And it can be a very gorgeous game still. Frostbite puts in the work. But yeah, this is a very old style video. This is what I used to do basically all of the time when I was 13, 14. I would just hop on Battlefield, talk, record some videos and post them. A little less edited than this, much worse. I had a Blue Snowball microphone, and obviously some terrible frame rates and resolutions, but man, this game is just so fun to come back to, you know? The fact that it's still alive. Actually, most of the semi-modern Battlefield games are still, like, thriving. I think 5 has the lowest player count next to Bad Company 2. But Bad Company 2 is also officially, like, unsupported now, and you have to download Project Rome to play it. And I'm still able to get into some fuller lobbies that way. So, oh, it's pretty insane. Shit. At least I got a kill assist. Fucking ah. It's alright. No, this game's great, man. 100%. Load back in. There's just something. Yeah, I've never been great at this game, but, you know, honestly, it doesn't even matter. It's about having fun. And I still love the stupid ragdoll physics that happen. Oh, hit marker. Fuck! Anyway, I think I think that's enough dying for me today. I just want to revisit this game, show that it's still alive, kind of reminisce. Because as I get older, man, as I get older, this reminds me of simpler times. The fact that my skill has not improved at all in 10, 12 years feels feels good. But yeah, that'll be it from me today. I hope you guys enjoyed me completely sucking at Battlefield 4 and rambling about old times on how life used to be simpler. And I'll see you. Oh, hey, I got a kill. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.